Alright guys, welcome back to the channel once again, and today we're going to be talking about the code repository and folder structure into the reactjs. So most of the time for the beginners who just started the coding side and started working on the react, they doesn't have the proper idea how to do the repo setup and how to keep the folder structure into the reactjs. So today I'm going to be telling you about this thing, so how we should keep our folders and how we should keep our components and how we should make the routing things and all the things setups into this react repository. So let's get started. So first of all, we should look at this. You see this small repository over here. So have the folder structure like components, container, and util. Most of the time, like if you are doing any projects as well, so these three folders should be always there. So component, you already know about that. The component means whatever the reusable components are there, like the components you're gonna use it at the different places again and again by using the prop. So those things you need to keep into this component folder. And apart from that, the main thing is gonna be coming to this container part. So container is that like whatever the features you are creating into your front-end application. So let's suppose you have a sign in, another is sign up, like register, login, and forgot password, reset password. So these are your features that you are creating into your front-end application. So we go by pages, like how many pages you are rendering into the front-end application. On the basis of that, we create the containers. So let's suppose you have a one login page, sign up page. So all the things are, they have different kind of features and code and data binding and all the things are going on. So for that, we have to create a different kind of folders inside the container. So one of the folder gonna be always your app folder, in which you will do the routing setup, and index file in which you will wrap the app component, app container we will say. But into the reactjs, whatever the function we write, like higher order function or whatever we write, so we say it component. Inside this we're gonna be saying it container. So app container, and you see over here, if I click on it, so app container. So inside that, you're going to be creating one route.js and route objects. So inside the route object, what you will do, so let's suppose, let me create one route.js. So inside this, you will do the routing configuration. And another thing, I'm going to be creating a route objects, and over here just I will create like this export const, let me just create this as a .js file. Okay, so export const routes. Okay, and like this. So inside this, you're gonna be creating multiple routes, like let those multiple routes should have first name. First is path. What are the path they have? Component. So component gonna be a kind of function, because you need to pass the route props into that, and then you're gonna pass the component over here. Okay, whatever the container you will pass. So we will say the component to this, but we need to pass the container files over here, because these all the features gonna be like over here. So currently you will see the page builder container is coming. Apart from that, there are gonna be other containers like login, sign up, register, and home page, dashboard, profile setting, and all these things, whenever you make the application. So these pages are mandatory into your front-end application. Okay, for login, sign up, and profile setting, user update, and all the things. So those things you need always. Okay, so those paths you need to create over here, like whatever the modules or features you have. So according to those features, you need to create the paths over here, and all those paths routing setup you need to do over here. Like you have same private route, protected route. So all those things setup we need to do over here. And apart from that, all the routes structure we need to include it over here. Okay, so if we go into the route.js, so I'm just going to create routes. Okay, inside this we're gonna be mapping all the routes by using the react router and all the things. And these route objects we're gonna be importing over here, like this one, import route object. So this is all the routes we're gonna be mapping over here, and then we're gonna creating protected and private route over here. Okay, this is gonna be our routing part. And apart from that, other four features gonna be coming inside of that, and all the features we're gonna be including by using the route object and route paths. Okay, so this is our container. Inside that container, now we need to include the component. So components gonna be whatever the reusable components you are writing, like let's suppose you have a button, input field, and some other components maybe like which you have to use again and again, like some kind of form, some kind of any kind of like page that you have to render in different places, like some kind of typography you need to render. So these kind of things we put it inside the component. like which we have to modify on the basis of props, like you will just pass the value inside that and then component gonna be modified. So for those things we need to write it inside the components. And it utils is your like common folder, constant folder, where you're gonna define all the constant, all the common functions. So that will comes into your util. Apart from that, we can create the store folder as well. Like if you are using React, Redux, or Redux and the Redux Saga, so you need to create the store folder, reducer folder, separate reducer folder, and separate Redux action folder, separate Redux constant folder. So inside that you need to put all the Redux constant inside of that, and reducer dispatch actions also inside the Redux actions, and also all the reducer where you will combine into the store. So all those things we need to keep it separately into their own folders. Okay, so by that time, if you look at the folder structure and if you see like, yeah, these things exist inside this folder, so it will look better and it will easy to find the code, like which code is written where. Okay, so it will differentiate according to the perception and behavior of that code. Okay, so that's how we should write the code. Yeah, so apart from that, like this is the average. So also major thing, like I forgot to tell, like styles part. So we should keep all the styles into the style folder. Let's suppose you are using SCSS or CSS. So mostly people use SCSS into like CSS preprocessor, because we can create the variable mixins and all the things inside of that. So that's why we create SCSS, and we can also include multiple files by using import export. Okay, so there's the thing comes over here. So for that, you just need to create one styles folder inside the main repository, like this one. Okay, and inside that you will put index.scss, like this way, and you can import other SCSS files. Okay, let's suppose I'm creating another SCSS file over here, main.scss. Okay, so you just use include inside this, add that it include. So like this way you can import the other style, like this SCSS files, and it's gonna be imported over here. So that's how it works, and that's how we should do the repository. But keep in mind, always we should create the components and container different two folders. Container is gonna be your all the folders which you are gonna include, you gonna include inside this what do we say, insert the app container route objects, and inside that your routing will run. So route will always run your containers, whatever the containers you have included, and those containers will include the components which you want to render into your front-end application. Okay, if you have seen other tags like Angular or Nest.js or other things, so you will see the module level features over there, like module service controllers and all these things. So it comes into the separate, so that project repository comes with the defined already, like they have different kind of modules, and all modules are specified. Also the route things also specified into the Angular. So project setup already getting done over there. And apart from that, if you have to create helper files, common files, and all the things, so that for that you have to create the folder over there. Otherwise, apart from that, if you are going with the module level, so you just need to create another module and start writing the code, and you will get the component file and also index file, HTML file over there for writing your component. So that's easy to understand over there, like which module related to which thing. Okay, but in React, if we write all the things inside the components, it would be hard to track, like where we should track all the components. So that's why people create the containers as well, and inside the container, all the your feature module gonna be which you are including into the routes, and component gonna be which your common component. Also into the component we should keep like folder structure, like this component is related to this container and this component is related to this container. If any component is getting used into the multiple containers, that should be into the common folder of the container. Otherwise, all components should be related to the containers. Okay, so that's how we should maintain our project repository. So I hope you guys learned something from this video, and if you have any kind of query about the project setup and project repository, code repository, so you just let me know and I'll give you a little brief, and I'll put one repository into my GitHub channel to just have a brief idea about that, like how the project setup should be. So you will have a look. Okay, apart from there are so many repositories are already there, like which will give you the brief idea about project setup, because I always maintain this kind of folder structure into my all the React code. Okay, so thank you so much guys, thank you for watching. Meet you in the next video. Thank you so much, bye bye.